Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Previously I was doing videos in my native language Slovakia, but I try to switch to English so we can reach a wider audience, because we believe we have really good content, we have really good insight on certain companies that are publicly listed. And today I would like to discuss or describe the latest deal that is announced on the basically US markets. And let's have a look at the legendary, or I would say legendary investor Ryan Cohen, who is actually CEO of GameStop, who made previously really good investments in Netflix, Facebook, and founded company Chewy, which was a pet retailer or pet e-commerce business. You've probably seen it, but they announced recently that the GameStop, which is roughly $10 billion company, is trying to acquire eBay, and Ryan Cohen and his management made an offer for $125 per share, which values eBay at around $55 billion. I would like to have a look at the proposal. I would like to discuss few steps whether it's possible, because many investors, many people on the X speculate whether GameStop has the money, whether they're capable of reach the financing, and whether they can close the deal. And I would say Ryan Cohen is trolling the investment community, and a lot of people in the investment community doesn't believe him that he's capable of doing this. But let's have a look at the proposal and we see if the things that he's saying are potentially true and potentially doable in these transactions. You can look at the press release on my right. Basically, what GameStop proposes is that they want to acquire eBay at $21.25 per share, which is representing 45% premium to the eBay share price. And basically, what they said, they will finance the acquisition 50% cash and 50% stock, which was also mentioned in the popular CNBC interview which Ryan Cohen made. I will show you the clip here where he answered to the moderator that he will finance it 50% cash, 50% shares, and that eventually became a meme for the whole X platform. So you can look at the clip here. I'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I hear you. I understand that. I'm just trying to understand where the rest of the money would come from.
It's half cash, half stock.
I hear you. I'm just saying that math doesn't get you to the price that you're offering.
So, Ryan, that's a pretty straightforward question. I don't get it. Like, where's the rest of the money coming from? Andrew laid it out pretty clearly.
I don't understand your question. We're offering half cash, half stock, and we have the ability to issue stock in order to get the deal done. But the full details of the offer are on our website. So, but I don't understand your question.
So we can see that everybody, even the Andrew Sorkin, is laughing about how company that is valued at 10 billion can potentially overtake company worth 50 billion, right? That's obviously illogical question, but let's have a look. I feel that the Ryan Cohen is pretty good investor. He had a great track record. He's a billionaire at pretty young age. So let's have a look what they're saying. Basically, they're saying that the GameStop has roughly 10 billion of cash and a highly confidential letter from TD for up to 20 billion in financing, and they will probably want to issue new stock of the GameStop, so the actual shareholders will be totally diluted. But if you have a look at it, what they're saying is basically by the synergies, or what they're saying in the synergies point of view, is that eBay is spending 2.5 billion on sales and marketing in 2025, which Ryan Cohen said in a few interviews I watched that it's excessive. Like, doesn't make sense that company that is well known, that it's here for decades and it's operating pretty efficiently, would spend 2.4 billion on the marketing. Everybody knows the brand, everybody in the community is well-known company, so he thinks they don't need that much spending. I partially agree with him, and he said that they add only 1 million users last year with this kind of sales and marketing spending, which is not really great success. And he thinks that they will make $2 billion of annualized cost reductions with the GameStop. And he's saying that they did the same thing with the GameStop when he took over. They reduced the marketing expenses and other expenses, and eventually the GameStop is money-making business and doing pretty good. They also want to cut the product development for roughly $300 million a year, which these costs grew 11% in 25 against 8% revenue. So he thinks that there is a not really good correlation between these two numbers. And they also want to cut, obviously, in IT and office spaces and the general expenses, because if you merge two companies, obviously you can share those things. So this is pretty reasonable. And he thinks that eBay could almost double the EPS from $4.46 per share to almost $8 per share in the next year after the transaction. So to be honest, I think if he can get the financing, I think he can really make this work, and he can have combined entity worth $100 billion potentially, right? Because now you have 50 billion eBay, 9 billion GameStop. If they cut some cost and grow the revenue, grow the users, I think this is potentially 100 billion, maybe a couple $100 billion business. He also said that they could really use synergies with the more than 1,600 GameStop stores in the US, the retail stores they have. So in order to pick up the order, some fulfillment, live commerce, events, etc., etc. So I think he's really committed, and obviously many people are laughing at this ambition, but I think Ryan Cohen could be successful. And if the transaction is approved, which he claims that he's the only one who can actually close the transaction, because if you look at the bigger companies such as Amazon or maybe other potential candidates who might take over eBay, none of those companies would actually pass the antitrust issue. So I would assume he's one of the only buyers potentially for eBay. And he also said that the current management last 5 years, which is really weird. If you trust the company, you probably buy shares and keep shares, but the main managers in the eBay in the last 5 years, they only been selling the stocks. I'll show you the proof here. Net sales of their stocks was roughly $50 million. So I think that Ryan Cohen has made a point that the current management doesn't really want to make the business more efficient, doesn't really want to increase the value of the business. And I think Ryan Cohen and GameStop could eventually be better owners, could be better for shareholders, and could be really interesting to watch how the company that has less than 10 billion of market capitalization could take over a company with more than 50 billion market cap. So let's see, and hopefully the Ryan Cohen can make this deal successful, and we will be definitely watching this process. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Ciao.